What is going on, everyone? Welcome to Coexisting with Rob and Maggie right here on Fightful Overbooked. It is Friday, May 17th, and we are glad you are here. We are going to be talking wrestling for the next hour and a half. And we have two, well, yeah, probably not. But we have two guests lined up. Zack Heydorn of Brass Media, who has a new book out today on Stone Cold Steve Austin, an autobiography that he wrote, the unauthorized autobiography that he recently wrote. So looking forward to that. So that's going to be fun to talk to him, Brass Ring Media rather. And we also have our good friend, Doc Chris Mueller, joining us to talk about his interview that he just had with Willow Nightingale. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be a good show. And we look forward to all of it. So I want to say thank you. But as I start every show, Maggie, how you doing?
I'm great. I mean, I'm not, but I know. So most recently, I feel like 2 days ago, I want to see 2 or 3 days ago, we had the finals of our National Football Cup thingy. And when I mean football, I mean real football, not, I will never call it soccer because it's football. So the National Cup was won by a local team, from my hometown. So, okay, so mind you, I don't watch Bulgarian football because I kind of want to keep my sanity. But I will always root for the local team, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the local team are, they're called, the Canaries because, and that's why, like, they're called Canaries because they're yellow and black colors. That's the official colors of the team. And in order for, one of the ways my city decided to celebrate the win of, the football cup was by them, because there's like the small fountain right in the middle of the center of our city, in the middle of the biggest pedestrian street in Europe. And we have this fountain there, and they decided to put yellow dye in the water of the fountain. So the fountain had yellow water. And I go by this fountain each and every day when I go to work and go home from work. And I stumbled upon that fountain while I was walking to work this morning, and I was like, that's pee. That looks like pee. I like that's me liking the football team. I like this isn't me crapping on the football team. I like again, I don't like Bulgarian football. That looks like pee. And because like a lot of people came by the bar today to drink some coffee, and I'm like, does that look like pee to you? And they're like, I never thought of it that way. Are you kidding me? It's yellow. It never went through your head that looks like pee? I mean, like what? Nice. So all in all, it's it's a wonderful thing. Like the small victories, okay? Like it's something to celebrate. Again, I will always root for our home team. I like again Bulgarian football. I'm losing IQ when I watch Bulgarian football. I don't want this to happen. It's no, but this is a wrestling podcast. Hi guys. Yeah. Thank you for joining our show. What?
No, go ahead.
Thank you for joining our show. Our fans of Coexisting, thank you for joining us once again, taking time out of your busy Fridays. It's Friday night for me, so like I don't have a life, obviously. Do us a favor, hit that thumbs up. This is the most easiest way to support us. It's also for free. If you have a if you're feeling generous, you can send a super chat. It's at the bottom of the live chat on YouTube, the little dollar sign. If you're watching on some other platforms, you can send a humper chat at humperchats.com. It makes us keep a little bit more of the money. Please subscribe to Fightful Select. It is, I will never stop saying this, our bread and butter. You will always get accurate news there. I don't know what you did with your hands, but it's
Well,
like,
it's like just
okay,
smooth bread and
yeah,
butter.
yeah. But like,
Bread and butter.
I always imagine Nutella because like, you don't like chocolate.
I don't mind Nutella. It's just I always have to make, so when Elena's over,
Okay.
usually I make her peanut butter Nutella sandwiches,
Okay.
and I just can't stand the smell of it. So
You
it's
can't
like
stand the smell of Nutella.
the peanut butter and the Nutella. Like, it's just, I'm weird. Okay,
Just throw away the peanut butter then.
Well, that's
It's
that.
it's the peanut butter's fault.
You tell a 7-year-old not. Yeah, no, that's okay. Or an 8-year-old.
Oh my god, that is the weirdest thing ever. You can't
Yeah.
stand the smell of Nutella and peanut butter.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a big deal.
Oh no, it's definitely a big deal.
Like, it's just like a matter of seconds. I'm not complaining. Like, it's just one of those things where, let's move on.
Jail.
Yeah.
Jail.
But Maggie, it's been kind of a quiet week.
It has been a bit of a quiet week. That's why I'm so looking forward to having Chris on the show and talking about his great interview with Willow. But yeah, it really has been a quiet week. Not for me, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Not for me, but like wrestling wise, it's been something. I mean, you can obviously, guys, send us all the super chats and all your money because I'm obviously blonder now. If you can't see it,
I can see it. I like it.
yeah,
I like it a lot.
yeah.
No.
I'm way blonder now. Yeah.
So
we're also poor because like I paid a shit ton of money to doctors just so they can say that there's nothing wrong with me when there's obviously something wrong with me.
Yeah, they do that here too. But
and physically.
So this past week, wrestling wise, on Raw, we saw some pretty good matches. We had Jey Uso versus Ilya Dragunov. This was a match where, in a way, I wanted Dragunov to win, but I was also thinking Jey had to win too. Like, it was one of those things where I was kind of like stuck in the middle here. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Overall, I thought the match was pretty good. But what did you think of this match? And do you think we are getting Dragunov versus Gunther at Clash at the Castle, or do you think we might get that at
Bash at Berlin?
Yeah. Or do you think? I mean, let's see what you think here.
Okay, so first of all, I'm in the camp of people losing their mind that Jey Uso beat Ilya Dragunov. I'm flabbergasted by that. I mean, I know that Jey Uso is kind of a superstar right now. From everything that we got out of the show at France. I mean, he was basically out on a concert. That crowd ate Jey Uso right up.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of get it, but I haven't been quite enjoying Jey Uso matches as much as I would have hoped I would. I don't know if you understand quite what I'm saying. I mean, like, I can get behind the guy because I I love the story with the bloodline. I love the Usos ever since they decided to, abandon the face paint and, all the different color, attire that they had on and everything.
Yeah.
With basically when they became heels. I'm a fan of their work. And I don't know if this is a problem of a lifelong wrestler who was so into tag team wrestling and breaded with tag team wrestling that this is how, it's a bit of a slower transition into a singles wrestling career. I don't know if that is it, because like his match against Jimmy again at WrestleMania didn't quite hit. His match against are you freezing or am I freezing? I need to know that.
I honestly, we never know. So
Yeah, because it's important to me, the chat might as well tell us. Please, by sending us a super chat. So, yeah, and his match against Damian Priest also was kind of, kind of weird.
yeah,
I love the guy. Again, I really love the guy. But this is me being incredibly biased towards Dragunov. Th- That's it. This isn't me crapping on Jey Uso whatsoever. Um,
yeah,
mm, about Gunther, mm, because we got that stare off, backstage, and
yeah,
Gunther didn't say anything. Like neither did Dragunov. Um, I would love if WWE, at least on commentary, they can throw in some breadcrumbs about their past, about all the times Ilya Dragunov had Gunther's number. And I don't know, because I I don't know if they can do that because it was way back when he was Walter.
yeah,
And yeah, and I'm sure that they'll be fine. I'm sure. Uh it's it's gonna be an extremely emotional match for me. I'm sure they're gonna do it. Whether if it'll be sooner or later, I guess we're about to see. But it's not like this can be an instant classic, a modern classic at the caliber of Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin. Uh, I've mentioned this on our show a lot. Sean keeps talking about who is the wrestling equivalent of Peter Griffin and the Chicken. For me, that should be Gunther and Ilya Dragunov. Just every time that they see each other, they just murder each other in the ring because back back then, Walter versus Dragunov was easily probably a match of the year for me. I don't know when it was. Was it 2020? I feel like it was 2020. Or no, 2021.
and I really don't remember.
2021. I feel like it was 2021. Years mean nothing to me right now. So it could easily be 2020 and I would know. I would know. Yeah, so um I yeah, Clash Clash at the Sandcastle pay-per-view. Sure, they can do that there. They can also do it at Bash in Berlin, but people need to understand that Gunther is from Austria. Okay, those are two different countries. Uh, just FYI,
Mhm.
for the people who know nothing about Europe. Okay, we do not have one time zone. We have a lot of them. One, two, three, four, 3 or 4 time zones. I feel like we're a continent. Okay, a lot of countries. Austria, Germany, that's not the same thing. Just putting it out there. What did you think of AJ Styles and Randy Orton?
Well,
I was kind of excited about it. I was
definitely excited about it.
But like, it was a Randy Orton match. That's it.
Yeah.
I loved how AJ was, because his phenomenal forearm was kind of insanely protected here, because Randy Orton didn't kick out of the phenomenal forearm. He grabbed the rope.
Yep.
And then transition into an RKO. It was a fine match. What I just thought when that's it. But I get it. I understand. People are so backing up Randy right now. He's on top. Ever since he's come back, he's on top. And I understand why they went with Randy Orton winning. I'm just biased towards AJ. That is it. And I felt like he needed his flowers after that ridiculously good match against Cody in France. And that amazing ovation that he got from the public there. What did you think?
Oh, I enjoyed the match. It was good. Going into it, I figured we were gonna get what we got. I wanted AJ to win, but we got what I expected, and that was okay. So we move on. Yeah. That's really all you can do. It was a good match, I thought, and I'm anxious. Not anxious, but I'm curious to see where they go on with this.
Absolutely. Standing on the topic of King and Queen of the Ring, because I think we're in a bit of a pickle, Robert.
Okay.
Because on the SmackDown side, we're gonna get, because we got a match, Jade versus Piper Niven, right?
Yep.
The match was pretty good. Jade was selling, and we've rarely seen Jade sell, because we're so used to her just dominating in all of her matches, especially matches in AEW that were 2 minutes long max. We all know she has a brilliant pump kick. She does the Jaded from all transitions. It's amazing. It's phenomenal. We haven't seen her sell quite as much. She did here. She sold for Piper, and Piper dominated a lot. Chelsea Green got involved. That's fine, but Jade won, and now we're about to see Jade versus Nia. And that is a big match. The thing is, if Jade wins and Bianca has also, a match, because she also won her qualifier. The thing is, at some point, if Jade beats Nia, and this is a big if, because I feel like that's a big thing. They have that history from the Rumble, because Jade was the one to eliminate Nia Jax with one fucking arm. So we might get Bianca versus Jade. And I feel like that's a WrestleMania. Well, no, not a WrestleMania. I feel like that's a pay-per-view caliber match.
Yeah, I mean, it is.
What's your opinion about this? How do you see Jade and Nia? Is this match scheduled for tonight? Because I kind of feel like it is.
I believe it is.
Yeah.
The thing is I think this match is going to end in a DQ or something, and I think Bianca is going to lose by DQ. I don't think because I think you're right. I think they want to save this match for a pay-per-view.
they're also tag team champions.
Yes. So
You don't want that because like that's the curse of the women's tag team titles.
correct.
That's not what you want.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's the way they're going. I mean, that's the way I would book it, but of course, who knows? But yeah, tonight on SmackDown, you have the Queen of the Ring tournament continuing. You have Nia Jax taking on Jade Cargill, like you said. We also have the other match, LA Knight taking on Tama Tonga. You have Bianca Belair taking on Tiffany Stratton. And you have Randy Orton taking on Carmelo Hayes. And then Cody Rhodes and Logan Paul will make their championship match official. So
I'm so happy for Tiffany, and I'm so incredibly excited about Mello. I mean, Mello did beat Corbin last week on SmackDown.
yeah,
Mm, I kind of feel like they sent Corbin to NXT to gain up some steam, and then brought him back to the main roster, and like it's almost as if nothing changed.
yeah.
Nothing changed.
I mean,
It's a bit weird for me, but I'm so happy about Mello.
I mean, it's been one match, so I mean, I'll give it some time.
Oh yeah, I absolutely. I'm gonna give it time also. But the thing is, I'm happy that people are chanting "whoop that trick" every time Mello's out there, which means
Yeah.
that people are watching NXT and they're invested in an NXT storyline. Which, tell me, when was the last time that happened? Read some super chats.
It's been a while, but yeah, let's read some super chats. Doc, who's going to be on the show here pretty soon, says hi.
Hi, you wonderful, wonderful boy.
Ricardo
Ricardo.
Hola says hi, Rob, Maggie, Soupy, Kate in chat. Kate was here.
What do
I
you
don't
mean,
know.
Kate? Kate is here?
She
Here?
was. She was
Oh.
here. She probably left because that's how she is. She just drops in, says hi and bye. But we'll take it. Better than nothing, right? So let's go. Granted, we'll do our predictions next week for King and Queen of the Ring. We also have Double or
Absolutely.
Nothing
Oh,
predictions to do next week. But right now, who do you think wins the Queen of the Ring tournament? I have Jade.
I feel like they're building towards Jade, but I can also see it being Nia Jax. It's it dep really it depends because I have no idea who wins the match between Liv Morgan and Becky Lynch. I I really have no idea.
Yeah.
Because they like Becky is really secretive into whether she signed or not. And by all means, she might as well hasn't re-signed yet. I'm almost certain that she's resigning. But they can play off of this. They can give the title to Liv.
Yeah.
I mean,
Definitely can.
granted, that title wasn't supposed to be on Becky either way.
Yeah.
Like at all. But on the other hand, I feel like Liv should be holding that championship when Rhea Ripley comes back.
I
Because
believe so. I agree with that.
That would make all the sense in the world. But on the other hand, because I feel like, was it this week? Yeah, it was this week. Io Shirai versus Shayna Baszler on Raw. what an amazing match that was. What an amazing way to remind people that Shayna Baszler was an incredibly awesome wrestler.
Yeah.
And because of course me and like a lot of other people, we all forgot that. We kind of did. And they kind of sold me a ticket. I felt like they're gonna, pull out an upset here and give the win to Shayna Baszler. Of course, they gave the win to Io, and after the match, they did something that would never have happened in a Vince McMahon era. She cut a promo in Japanese.
Yeah.
So great, amazing. Like, we didn't need to know what she was saying, because like you can kind of tell what she was saying.
I got some more super chats to read here. I think Jade beats Will Chisholm sends us a super chat. It says, I think
Thank you,
Jade
sweetie.
beats Nia and Tiffany beats Bianca because of the last SmackDown. Bianca hurt her knee, and that can be the start. I would agree with that.
I actually kind of feel like, yes, Tiffany will be the one winning. I don't know why, but some people said that there was some heat backstage on Tiffany. I have no idea why. Seriously.
I saw it, but I saw the tweets and people say that, but I didn't look into it because I just, like I told you yesterday and today, like part of the day, me not doing well, like sick wise, but I'm better now.
I understand.
So I didn't pay attention much to anything going on. So I don't really know what somebody in chat will tell us. So
yes,
as far as that goes, I would definitely.
I'm gonna agree.
Yeah, I can definitely see them go that route. We do have another super chat. This one's from our good friend Ryan Sullivan. Well, hi, hello. I took Mello. Seems like a good fella. Does he play the cello?
Cello.
Cello. Cello. I knew that. Why did I not remember it?
He made it a rhyme. Oh yeah,
I know. Well,
hi, hello. I do like Mello. Seems like a good fellow. Does he play the cello?
Cello. I know but you know how this is. If I read it on the teleprompter, I'm gonna say it. It's just like Anchorman. Damn it! Who changed the teleprompter on Ron?
Ryan, I'm gonna give you this one. That was funny.
I need the benefit of the doubt on this one for me. I know it's cello, but I looked at it like
cello.
Like, yeah, I know. Cello.
Okay.
Cello.
What the fuck is a cello?
I don't know what a cello is. That's the point. That's why I stopped like right after I said it. I'm like, what the? Yeah, I'm like, oh, cello.
Well, Mello also would do all of that while eating Jello.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Jello sounds good.
Yeah. I hate Jello.
Okay.
Thank you, Ryan. That was a fun one.
We got another one from our good friend Ricardo. He says, I want to see Mommy's reaction when Liv steals Dom.
That's a different thing, Ricardo. Thank you for reminding me, because like we've seen this for quite some time. Like she's being subtle, because like she's uploading pictures with the purple headband in her pocket. Like you need to like, okay, no, you don't need to zoom because it's right there, because like she's fully black dressed and you can see that purple thing from, peeking outside her, her pocket. Oh, it's so good.
Go on. No.
Robert.
Yeah, well, you started it.
So it's I can see that coming. I would have loved for them to do that, because Liv did say that she was going to steal everything from Rhea Ripley. I mean, she stole her, her body, physical health. She stole, she took away her championship, but like not for herself. Still, there's time for that. And I'm looking forward to that, storyline being unfold. We can go back to talking about King and Queen of the Ring after we have Doc on the show.
Yeah.
If you want.
Yeah. 1 second on that. And just like after Doc's done, just so you guys know, we do have Zack Heydorn, who, like I said earlier, he wrote a new book regarding it's a Stone Cold Steve Austin autobiography. So we'll be talking to him about that. But after that, we're going to let you guys control the show, ask us questions. No super, I mean, if you want to send super chat, we obviously love it. But other than that, it's just going to be like a show that you guys can pretty much direct. We'll talk about anything. If you want to talk about movies, whatever, just bring it. We'll talk about it. Anything, music, movies, my favorite pornography actors, stuff like that.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I just wait for a reaction. That's what I was going for. I'm like, she's not paying attention.
But so what do you think, real quick? Cody versus Logan Paul.
I was surprised they're going with this. Okay, that's why I thought you sent him the link, but I realized I never told you to send him the link, so that's on me. My bad. You know, producing type shit.
Yeah. Okay. So
it'll be there shortly. They're Christopher. So just go ahead. You wanted me to answer that question. I'm surprised they went with it this early. I thought it was going to be the SummerSlam match, but oh well.
Well, Logan Paul's always had big matches in Saudi.
True.
That's the thing. That's why I'm not surprised. I'm glad that they're doing it there and not in SummerSlam, because is it title for title?
They haven't said yet.
They haven't said anything, right?
Oh, they did. Cody Rhodes and Logan Paul to make champion versus champion official.
Champion versus champion is one thing. Title for title is a whole different thing.
Point. Yeah, that's the thing. I was like, well, yeah. So the contract signing tonight, we'll find out, hopefully.
Yeah, we're going to find out tonight. Okay. The match is going to be good. We've been on this show being pissed off about Logan Paul being so good in the ring because we're not big, the biggest fans of Logan, but none of us can actually sit here and say that Logan Paul isn't good in the ring. None of us. And we can easily ask Doc about this as well, because I kind of feel like he's gonna say, the same thing. It's kind of infuriating how good Logan is.
Yeah, and he's ready. So we will bring him on here in just a second. But yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think you hit it right on the head there. And I will say this, a lot of and you've heard this on every podcast that you listen to. A lot of people don't care for him, as far as the things that he does, outside of the ring, but you can't deny what he does inside the ring. He's been solid, very solid at that. But let's bring on
that he gives a crap. That's all I'm saying.
And that impresses me, and I like that. I like that he gives a crap. But let's go to another guy that gives a crap, and he gives a whole lot of crap. He gives a lot of. He believes.
I can see where this is going, Robert.
He believes in a person, and he believes in Willow Nightingale. But before we go there, I want you guys to remember that this episode is brought to you by Nutella Cat. Sleep with one eye open, gripping its pillow tight. So, nothing this time? Was it just a 1 week thing? Fine, I'll get rid of it. Damn. Tough crowd.
We need to be sponsored by deodorant and soap and antiperspirant or whatever you guys want.
Antiperspirant.
I can't say
easy
that
for me
word.
To say. Me neither, apparently. Okay. Let's bring on somebody who can talk. Let's go with Chris Mueller of the Bleacher Report. He is joining us. Chris, how you doing?
I mean, let's not lie to people and claim that I can talk well.
Okay, well,
your voice is, sent by angels playing the harp. So
thank you.
Yeah. Well, tell us about this interview that you had with the lovely Willow Nightingale, and I know how much she means to you because every time she appears on TV, you tell all your Twitter followers to shut up. So
And now she knows this.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like she is absolutely who you think she is based off what we see on TV. Like everything she said came across like she was just happy and bubbly and excited about everything. Yeah, I was really looking forward to this one. I'm glad that I got her before a big match.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's a big match, and she's taking on Mercedes Monae. Mercedes' first pay-per-view match coming up at Double or Nothing next weekend in Las Vegas. I really hope Willow retains because I think she's been doing really well with that belt, and the crowd seems to be just liking her a lot too in this. I mean, I think the promo she had on Wednesday was the best one she's had yet, in my opinion. I really, really dug it. Like, I thought it was really good. And the throwing Mercedes through the table was good. And you got to give a lot of credit to Mercedes because she did that, like it takes two to tango in this business, and she went through that table. So it was a good segment, and AEW needed that. And both those women delivered, but Willow Nightingale, day in, day out, continues to deliver. And I understand why people like yourself are such huge fans of her. But overall, I know this was a big interview for you. And just overall, like, what was it like for you? Like, basically.
I mean, like if you heard any of the conversation, it's all part of the article. Like, she's just a pleasure to talk to. Like, she very clearly loves pro wrestling. It's something that, we all love, obviously, but like, just when you talk to a couple of people, there are certain people that I've interviewed that you can just tell how much they love it. Like, Adam Copeland was another one that, like, everything he said to me, I could just tell he was really, really in love with pro wrestling, especially again after like joining AEW and kind of finding his energy again. Like, you could tell how excited he was. And with Willow, it's like, no matter what we were talking about, she just was happy to be talking about it and happy to be doing it. And she even commented at one point that, like, it's crazy to her still that she's on TV every week.
The little sweetheart.
I know.
That's so sweet.
I think my favorite part of it, though, was when I asked her about wrestling under the last name Monae, like many years ago. Because
she sounded so shocked.
She said she forgot about it. And it was so funny to me that, like, I was able to find one of those old matches too, and she just looks so young and innocent, and, and she's kicking some big dude in the balls, and it's really funny. But yeah, like, I don't know. I'm obviously a little biased here, but
yeah,
if they have Willow only have a short reign and lose the title to Mercedes right away, I'm gonna be so mad because Tony Khan, like, is addicted to really long title reigns. Very few title reigns have ever been less than a couple of months in AEW.
Oh.
Well, thank you, whoever's typing that. Spencer, probably. I don't know.
Probably Penny.
But yeah, I'm really looking forward to the match. I think her and Mercedes are probably going to outdo their New Japan match because both of them understand that they kind of have to at this point. And frankly, this is one of the better built up feuds on the card, honestly, because of how long these two have been going at it. But I'm ready to see Monae get in the ring and fight. I'm tired of her showing up like a sitcom actor.
Well, that's the thing. First of all, that Dr. Bomb looked gruesome on that table, and Mercedes sold the crap out of that. I'm so
she
happy.
was like, the look on her face was like, oh man, she really looks like she's in pain. Like, if she was just selling, it was great work.
Like, it's not like Mercedes doesn't know what she's doing. I mean,
Oh,
she's
right.
one of the best women's wrestlers in the world for a reason.
Yeah,
And
she was in Star Wars too. So
first of all, Mandalorian.
so same thing.
Don't eye roll at me.
I did Mandalorian, Boba Fett.
So,
You know,
excuse me,
Boba. Yeah,
Boba
Boba Fett.
Fett.
I'm messing with you. Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, don't you own a Boba Fett helmet? Like,
I do. Yeah, I do. That's why it's fun messing with Maggie. It's a new game I have.
Boba Fett.
Yeah, there's. I don't know if you've ever watched Robot Chicken, but there's
Robot
a
Chicken
clip.
Star Wars. I know.
Yeah, there's a clip where a mailman goes up to Boba Fett's house and he knocks on the door. Mr. Bob A. Feet. And I die every time I see that clip.
I love those specials. My favorite part is when the Emperor gets a phone call about the first Death Star being destroyed. And he's like, "What the hell is an aluminum Falcon?"
Yeah, and he was like, "Oh, come on, man!" And when they pump the brakes on the Death Star and they show Darth Vader choking the crap out of someone, and because the brakes have been hit, and Darth Vader stands still, but like the other guy goes forward, and then another guy comes in and gets into a chokehold. That was so great. That was ridiculous.
I repeat, like, Stormtrooper. Go with yourself. Just the whole Stormtrooper line when
he's going up the escalator.
Yeah.
So many, and then there's just so many great scenes. I'd absolutely
when that
love to do
Stormtrooper had his daughter to bring your daughter to work day, and she was like, "Daddy, you're not even trying."
So many good clips. We should do a watch along of that.
Yeah,
Anyways,
we should definitely do a Robot Chicken Star Wars
Chris,
watch along.
Chris, I know you just talked to her not too long ago, but I wanted you to pitch an idea for Willow because you're a big fan of hers, and I think she should make some money too. So I came up with this idea.
Where is this going?
Pillow Nightingale. Listen, she can make a lot of money doing this. They just put like her graphic on a pillow, and they just call it Pillow Nightingale. Think about it. Just shoot her the idea. I don't need any money. I just think she should just come up with this. She takes all the credit for it. Am I a genius or what? You don't need to answer that. I already know the answer. But
the funniest thing is, if either of you know Angie Twilight Palms, she has literally made body pillows with her pictures.
Oh yeah,
of pro wrestler.
Oh cool.
Someone already beat you to it.
I want to say one of them is Kenny.
Ooh, Maggie.
I don't think she sells them anymore.
Yeah, probably not. See,
Damn it!
Man.
I'd definitely buy a Kenny body pillow.
Yeah, I wonder what you do with it.
Shut the fuck up. That is none of your fucking business.
I thought you were just gonna sleep. Like, okay, well, damn.
Sure.
That's one word for it.
Yeah, that's hey. If they came up with Golden Girl pillows, I'd probably.
Okay, so let's move on. So, like in your amazing interview, that because like, I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but like Doc pretty much sometimes sends me videos of the audio before his interviews come out. Am I allowed to say that?
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say if you're not, well,
if I'm not, too late.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Chris sent me a bunch of audio from his interview, and I was able to listen to it when I was walking to work the other day. And it was so great because listening to Willow speak, you can just sense, and Doc is absolutely correct here when he says she's so in love with everything that she's doing. And not only that, but like she's so okay and so happy to actually talk to people about what she's doing. Because those are two different things. You can probably sometimes adore your job, but it's a totally different thing to talk about it as if you're in love with it. Again, those are two different things. And one of the things that actually I did not know about this, and I told Doc how impressed I was. She used to work as a piercer before she started wrestling, and I did not know that. And because I used to be a piercer when I was young, and I was like, you mean to tell me that I have a buttload of things to talk about with Willow? Because like that's a long time ago for me, and I still have things that I like. I still have piercer thoughts in my head. Like whenever I see an ear, a good-looking ear, I keep thinking about how I can pierce it.
Mick Foley's like, son of a bitch.
Yeah. And also if I see a woman with a adorably wonderful nose, I just want to pierce it. And like, yeah, and like
No.
like a couple of years ago, we were on our beach vacation, and one of our regulars, he just took his shirt off, and I'm like, what the fuck are those minimalistic fucking nipples that you have? Like, the dude had a dot for a nipple, and I'm like, I can't even see it. Like, where is it? I can't even pierce it. And he was like, why would you pierce it? Because, like, granted, he had no idea I was a piercer, and I'm like, I don't know. Don't you just want to pierce a nipple whenever you see one? And he's like, no. Oh, so it's just me. Yeah. So we have a ton of things to talk. You like Willow and I, and this is something that I never thought. And like me seeing, all three nose piercings on Willow, and I'm like, everything makes sense now. Like everything makes sense now, and like probably I'm not a huge fan of like overly pierced areas, but with her, like it
You almost
suits
don't
her
even notice
so
it.
much.
It blends
Like
in so well with her.
yeah, but like I notice it because like I used to do the thing, and like it's something that I always look for in people's faces and in bodies and everything. Like it's something that like catches my attention all the time. And the thing is, people with three piercings on the nose usually look really hardcore or goth or whatever, and like she just looks bubbly even with those three piercings. I love that about her.
Well, I did put the link in the chat, and we'll put it in the YouTube stream afterward and stuff like that. But Doc, tell everybody where they can follow you, because we do have Zach joining us here shortly. So tell everybody where they can follow us and plug your shit. And I assume you'll probably join us next week for our Double or Nothing prediction show or pre-show.
Yeah, I'll be here. Anybody who wants can follow me on Twitter or whatever you want to call it now at BR_doctor. All my work is on Bleacher Report, and if Willow ever does decide to open that tattoo shop, I'll put in a good word for you, Maggie.
Yes,
and the
please.
pillows. And the pillows. Those aren't
I
pillows.
may or may not mention the pillow to her.
Those aren't pillows. All right, man. Thank you. We appreciate you, and great article, man. So we'll talk to you later.
Appreciate it.
Always
good
happy
one.
to have you on the show, Chris.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye. See you, man. And our next guest is none other than Zack Heydorn. He is the new author, the new book, rather, of Stunning Steve Austin. Stunning the wrestling artistry of Steve Austin. Well, it's hard for me to read these days, I guess. No, the way the website had it was at the top. and
The stunning Stone Cold
well, yeah,
Steve
it's my fault. I'll take the blame there. But let's bring them on. Zach, how you doing, man? Welcome to Fightful Over.
What's going on, guys? Great to be here. You guys, I feel like I need to go get a piercing now, multiple piercings after that chat.
That's how you get on this show. And
yeah.
I didn't have any, and Maggie's like, "You're gonna have to get a piercing if you want me to do this show." And
I mean, I'm piercing your belly button at All In at Wembley. I'm piercing your belly button at Wembley.
That is not going to happen. I can tell you right now.
The match. We're doing it.
Good luck.
I kind of want to be there for that. So, yeah, I'm in. I second that. Second. Sorry, Rob.
No, it's okay. There's going to be a lot of disappointed people, including myself, if we do that.
We're going to make a ton of money.
Okay, well, let's move on to somebody that made a ton of money. His name was Stone Cold Steve Austin. He, in my opinion, if he does not go on the run that he went on in the Attitude Era, we don't know where WWF is, if it even exists to this day, because there was something about Stone Cold that everybody liked during that time, and it was the fact that he told his boss to go basically F himself. And a lot of people wanted to always do that. But when you look at it, Steve Austin was the first one to really ever do that on a regular basis. And people loved it. So my question to you is, what was it about Stone Cold Steve Austin that made you interested in writing a book about him? And how long did this process take?
Yeah, well, thanks for the question. And you know, piercing jokes aside, thanks so much for having me on, you guys. I love the show, and I'm really, really glad that I was able to come on here and do this. And so, yeah, Steve Austin. I mean, what made me like first initially like gravitate toward him towards the book is obvious his success in the business. Like I wanted to do it on, you know, if we're gonna pick like a central like character, actor, wrestler to do this on, I wanted it to be like an upper tier person, and so. You know, that obviously cut out a lot of potential people you could have done it on. And then I just started looking at it, and, you know, what I found that in terms of doing research and kind of getting ready to write the book and watch everything was he had like a lot of different eras of his career that you could like break down into like really like easy kind of batches. So, you know, he had his rookie year, he had his run as Stunning Steve, he had the Hollywood Blondes, Post Blondes, ECW, Ringmaster, Stone Cold. Like it was really like, you know, like very just clear cut, like the different eras of his career. And when I started kind of researching, like, hey, can we do this on him? What I found was like there's a lot of like little things from his rookie year that you still see in his work, like towards the end, and you see him like figure things out, or how do I, you know, get the crowd to react this way? How do I work with the tag team? How can I come out of my shell a little bit with Brian Pillman? And so all these little pieces of his career like add up and come together at the Stone Cold part of his run. And what I found interesting and what I kind of wanted to articulate, and what I hope I do articulate with the book, is that it may look like, hey, boom, 1997, Austin's on the scene, and man, he figured it out. But really, it was a long process of like just putting it all together, you know, years before that. And I hope that I can articulate in the book that process. And I thought kind of the art of that was really interesting and something that I wanted to explore. So that's how we kind of landed on him. And as far as the process, you know, it started just with watching a ton of Steve Austin content. Like I broke up, as I just said, like the book breaks up into those specific chapters of those eras of his career. And, you know, I just like took him on and just watched tons of matches from those eras. Either, you know, and YouTube was a phenomenal tool for that. You know, obviously Peacock has a lot of it because it's got WCW and it has, you know, has all of that stuff there. So it was not like difficult to find. But yeah, I just watched, you know, more Hollywood Blondes matches than I ever could have imagined that I would have watched, but I watched them. And so that was a major part of it. And then the writing came after that. But the big part and the fun part really was watching all the stuff and really getting a good sense of what his career was like.
So I know that this is a ridiculous question because like it's so hard to answer it to answer the question itself, but like how much time did your research take? Because I kind of feel like that's a huge amount of material to watch and matches and storylines and going back and forth and like everything. I kind of feel like that's a really, really long process.
Yeah, it was a long process. Like I think it took about, I'd say like 2 months to like get organized with it, and like figure out where I can find all the stuff. And here's like, so there was like an organizational part of like, okay, cards on the table. This is going to be the process and my strategy for tackling it all. And then it was probably another, 9 months after that where, it took that long to kind of watch everything, transcribe what I wanted to transcribe, get the other writing done, and then like have like a first draft, so to speak. So I'd say like 9 months was like first draft and all the research together as one. That's kind of the timetable. And then after that, there was editing and kind of moving things around. And like, obviously that was a major portion of the process after that. But initially, it was about a 9 month run.
That's way shorter than I imagined it. Because in my head, I feel like probably a couple of years.
No, like it was a lot of it. I think if you had to like go and track down this stuff, like track down matches or track down like different video, that would take a long time. But a lot of it is there to take and there to have. So it was more so once I was organized, I could just go to YouTube or go to Peacock and just find it, watch it, do what I needed to do with it. So, I think if you had to track it down though, like goodness gracious, it would have been triple that probably, but it was all right there. So, it made for an
but
easy
like,
but tough.
Of course. So while were you watching wrestling as a kid? Like, were you there for the rise of Stone Cold Steve Austin? Did you see that? And then afterwards, while you were researching, did you just have to refresh your knowledge about everything that happened back in the day and now? Because like, if this is brand new information to you, if you hadn't watched it as a kid, and now you're just doing it as as someone who got into wrestling, those are two different things.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. And yeah, it would have been very different. So for most of it I had seen. Some of like the really, really early Steve Austin stuff, I didn't, obviously I was younger at that time. But especially when
right?
What's that? Yeah, no, I wish. The like the Stone Cold stuff I remembered pretty well. So that was more like a refresher because that was like heyday era for me as a wrestling fan, like coming up. But so that was more of a refresher. But like I think like the early stuff was kind of where I was able to kind of sit back and really kind of take it in for the first time. That was really fun to do. Whereas you said like the other parts, you've seen Austin versus McMahon. So like, you know, kind of how that goes and what that's like. You just want a refresher on it. And again, I had to do some transcribing with some of those matches, but yeah, the early stuff, it was kind of like brand new, which was really fun, which was fun to do.
Yeah, Rob.
Very cool. We did have a super chat with a question in it, so I'll read that real quick here. It was from Eric Freeds. He says, Robert, Maggie, chat, nice to see you all. Is it just me, or is the Elite more AEW than Team AEW? Also, Stone Cold in his prime versus Macho Man in his prime. Who wins? So, Zach, I'll let you answer that. for the Stone Cold question. What do you think here?
Stone Cold's not doing too many jobs in his prime. Let's just put it that way, you guys. I don't think he's doing too many jobs. So I'll take Stone Cold in that one. Macho Man, top star, big act, really good wrestler, but I'll take Stone Cold.
It'd be a fun match, though. We both know that.
That's like a dream match if I've ever heard of one.
Yeah, that would be good. And I know you watch AEW, so if you want to answer that one too, we'll all take our turns on that one.
I'd love to. Yeah. So, I mean, it's a great question, Eric. There is a lot of, for like the creators of AEW are in that match on the anti-AEW side of things. I think that's kind of the point at this juncture, to like have them being like the invading force, if you will, or like the Elite's taking over. This is where, Eric, I think you need a promo from the Elite and a promo from the Young Bucks, like talking about that fact and calling that out. Like, hey, they almost as if they've got their own reason for like running the company and running the show the way they want, because it's theirs. I think you need to call that out directly, but it is a bit inconsistent at this point, Eric. Yes, I agree.
I would definitely agree with that. And also, like, from a fantasy booking standpoint for that promo, I would love it, because I've said it on this show a lot. I love it when fourth wall stuff is broken. I would love it for them to mention Cody Rhodes and say he'd still be here if you just would have let us just run the thing, something like that. Yep. Even if it's not true, just add more fuel to the fire. I think it'd be fantastic. Even if it's not true at all, I think it'd be just good business. Maggie?
It might be big for a good promo too. I mean,
yeah, it would.
Yeah, well, is the Elite more AEW than Team AEW? Well, not any fucking more, because Darby Allin's there. Like, I'm sorry, didn't a bus destroy your face like a month ago? Like, what are you doing? Like, would you mind taking care of yourself and then just coming back? Like, dude had a thing on his nose. Like, can you please just recover? Oh, my foot's not 100%. It's a Anarchy in the arena. Okay? I understand that there's a way you can protect people in Anarchy in the Arena match. I'll be fine if this is Darby Allin and not Kenny Omega, because Kenny Omega I feel like he needs to take care of himself more. Darby Allin is completely fine with dying in the ring. I'm against that because the dude is young and like his whole career is in front of him. I'm not okay with that. But I've been on this show saying multiple times, I'm not the biggest fan of Darby Allin. That type of wrestling is not for me. That's fine. What I'm fascinated with is I want to see what Darby Allin is in 5 years, in 10 years, because he cannot, in my eyes, he cannot possibly retain this type of wrestling forever and this persona forever. I want to see what his transition is, because it's gonna be some like a sight to see. This is what I'm interested in, because like I said, I'm not the target audience for whatever Darby Allin's doing. All that his wrestling is giving me is wrinkles, because I keep doing faces whenever he takes a ridiculous ass bump. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see people die. Please don't die. Don't.
Ricardo says Darby effing Gumby. He's indestructible. Yeah. So moving on back to the book. I saw your tweet to Snowden today, and he's a great mind when it comes to writing. Jonathan Snowden, that is. He's a great mind. How much did you talk to him regarding this book? Were there other people that is this the first book you've written? I wanted to do my homework, but like I told you earlier, I was ill and didn't get to do my homework. And is this the first book that you've written?
Yeah, this is my first book. Yeah, first book that
cool.
And Jonathan was I mean, he played a major role in the whole project. I mean, you know, from ideation to today, you know, he's been working on it with me all the way through. You know, I had a bigger idea for the book going in, you know, as like the pitch. And that was more just a book on the artistry of wrestling in a big wide net that came with that. And he was the one that was kind of like, you know what, like, great idea, but let's refocus it. Let's make it a little more focused on one specific act. So he really helped kind of ideate that process out, and has just been a wonderful mentor to lean on for not just help in writing, but mental support of, you know, going through the editing process and like the layout process and getting it on sale and things of that. And like, you know, the business side of putting out a book too. He's been a great help. So yeah, I mean, this project does not happen without him. Also, I want to shout out Thor Jensen, who did all the artwork in the book. He really, it's really cool stuff. I mean, he took the book and it went through and just started doing drawings for all sorts of different Steve Austin matches. And what started off as an ask of like, all right, we'd like to have like a piece of art for every chapter, turned into over 100 pieces of art for the book and drawings for the book that's throughout it. And it really made the book pop, and it's really cool stuff. So he's a great artist, and, you know, I'm looking forward for you guys to read it, but I'm looking forward for you to see these pictures too. They're really, really cool.
Yeah.
So
awesome.
This is the first book you decided to write. Why pick Stone Cold?
I just think that, for one thing, I think that he's, you know, I think sometimes when you think, who are the good like artists in the wrestling ring? You know, it's Bret Hart, it's Shawn, you know, it's Ric Flair. Today it's, you know, Will Ospreay and Kenny and Okada, and I don't disagree with that. If that, like, they're certainly all wonderful in-ring workers. Steve Austin to me is like just a different kind of great in-ring worker. I mean, when you look at his matches, even when he was a heel from, you know, 1990, audiences are invested in what he's doing, and he works really hard to pull out a reaction from them. And I just was fascinated by that. It's like he rarely had, like, he didn't have like the athletic, crazy matches that Will Ospreay has today, but he doesn't have any stinkers either. Like, he has a crowd like in the palm of his hand during his matches. And I just think like that is fascinating to watch and to see. And I wanted to explore that. And then on top of that, he's, you know, one of the biggest stars in the history of the business. That was a good combination for me.
Yeah. Before we let you go, I'm going to ask you another question.
You have
Maggie,
a lot of questions.
well, Maggie will ask you another one.
Bring it on.
Have you had the chance to talk to Stone Cold about this at all, or have you reached out, and will you send him a book or like anything like that? I'm just curious about that, because I did see that you, I think in like your advertising, or maybe it was something, it said the unauthorized autobiography. So I was just curious about that.
Yeah, so that was an interesting kind of minefield to navigate. So there are certain restrictions that he has with his WWE contract that don't allow like his involvement in projects like this one. So he will be getting a copy, yes, but he's not directly involved with this in any way, like other than I hope maybe he takes a look at it and like thumbs through it someday. But yeah, there's, you know, business restrictions and things of that nature that prevented like him coming in and you know, and talking about this. Hey, never say never, right? But not at this moment.
Okay, so who was a close second? Who's a close second that you wondered? Okay, Stone Cold Steve Austin, but what if I write about who's the close second?
There were two. There were two close seconds that were, so I guess they're second and third, I suppose, but they were right neck and neck in terms of like
Okay.
where I thought I could go. The first one was Ric Flair,
Okay.
just because of just the just the
Oh, there's
volume.
obviously a
of work.
lot to talk about there.
Yeah, a lot to talk about there, good and bad. And, and this is more of like a analysis of like in ring. It's not a biography, right? Of like his life. So when you look at like he's one of the best in ring performers ever. So he was definitely high up on the list. Shawn Michaels was also somebody that I was considering for this, and Brett too, but it was mainly Shawn and Rick was kind of the next layer of angles I think I could take. And hey, maybe there'll be like a sequel or something. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, the interesting thing about Shawn Michaels is that's a 5-for-1, okay? Because like
right.
while you're writing about Shawn Michaels, you need to touch upon all these other people also.
Yeah, well, exactly. And he had like it's not the same as Steve Austin really, but he has eras of his career too, like the rookie stuff with the Rockers, IC title, Shawn Michaels, ladder match, Shawn Michaels. Then you have his run as champion, DX, his return, like. All of a sudden, there you go. You've got eras of his career too that you can kind of break it down in a similar format. Totally different wrestler, right? But there's an easy way to kind of organize his career in little buckets, and so that that proved to make things easy when I wrote this one.
Yeah. So, oh yeah, you and me both, Eric. I'm kind of kidding. It was The Rock for me. I'm so basic. So
how could you say that to while we're talking about a Stone Cold book? Jeez Louise.
I know. But like the thing is, my sister was way into Triple H and Stone Cold Steve Austin, and I was a Rocky girl, and I'm like, you peasant. Like what? So. Last question. Do you think a character such as Stone Cold Steve Austin, and I mean every part of Stone Cold Steve Austin's character, do you think that it would work in this day of age?
Yes.
And I mean everything.
I think it definitely would work. It definitely would work. The psychology of like that Rob talked about at the beginning of, working class against the boss. That's always gonna play. I think that's always gonna be there. I think in like part of what made the Stone Cold run so good at the time was like the product was like just no pun intended here, but raw. Like it was like it was produced, but it wasn't overproduced. Like today, there's a shine to the WWE product that makes it a presentation and not like, man, these crazy wrestlers are out there just fighting each other and trying to be the best. Like it's more, I don't want to say watered down because that's not what I mean. I just mean polished. There's a lot more polish now. And the Steve Austin character, like I think resonated in that like unpolished nature. So it would be a little bit different. It wouldn't be as rugged. It wouldn't be as like, ooh, like, am I supposed to be watching this? This guy's cursing and flipping birds and drinking beer. Like, I think that wouldn't be there, but I think the story and the character and the gimmick, that all plays even in a hyper polished WWE. So yes, it would be a little bit different though.
The thing is, because I'm incredibly fascinated by the fact that he was all against, the suits and the people in power and everything. And what I can't get my mind off of is I want to see Stone Cold Steve Austin in his prime go against Cody Rhodes, because he's the champion and he carries himself in a certain way, And basically, he's everything that Stone Cold Steve Austin is against,
Right.
the polished superstar, the one with the meet and greets, with all the media and all the interviews and everything. Stone Cold Steve Austin will never do that, in kayfabe,
Right.
And
Sure.
the thing is, if you look at right now Kevin Owens, and you could never leave out Kevin Owens when you're talking about Stone Cold Steve Austin right now. Because if you look at Kevin Owens, he's the 100% not typical wrestler, because dude doesn't wear suits apart from that whole United States Championship gimmick that
We don't
he
want to
has.
talk about that.
Let's all forget about that. His ramp had his shaved face. Let's just forget about that. That did not happen. So he never wears suits. And what, bro?
No, go ahead.
Okay, he never wore suits. He always wears, gear, and he's incredibly, like, I don't want to say goofy, because he's not goofy. He carries himself in a manner that you don't. It's as if he knows that there's a camera there. That is incredibly Lynchian, and I probably that's why I love the guy. But like he knows that he's a character in a thing that's on television, and he's that person, Hey, Randy, did you see? I did the thing again. Like that's incredibly amazing. That's a 2024 goofy version of Stone Cold Steve Austin, and I am sorry if I'm offending Stone Cold Steve Austin fans, but I feel like I'm not, because this, for me, this is the thing. Also, Steve Austin, during the Broken Skull sessions, he did give pointers to Kevin Owens on how to execute, stunners correctly and better. So I kind of feel like, the torch has been passed. That's all.
There's a lot of similarities there. You certainly can't drop like Steve Austin from 1998, drop him into WWE 2024 and have it be the exact same. Like there's certainly differences. Like even in his promos, when you watch an old 1999 Steve Austin promo, he's walking all around the ring, like hard cam be damned. Like it doesn't matter. He's here, he's there, he's leading on the ropes, he's doing it. Like, and now that would not, that wouldn't fly, because they want the star facing the hard cam, face on the camera. So it would be, those kinds of things would be different. And Kevin Owens, like he plays that game. He plays that, he plays it really well, where he walks that line of like, yeah, I'm Kevin Owens, I'm me, and I'm doing my thing, but I still know that they want me to face the hard cam, so that's what I'm going to do. So I think he's a good comparator. I don't think it's offensive at all.
Well, before we let you go, again, I want everyone to check it out. Stunning, the wrestling artistry of Steve Austin, available now on Amazon paperback. It's also available on the Kindle I saw as well. Before we let you go, The Condemned is very underrated. I want to know what you think about that.
Super underrated. Super
I think
underrated.
It's fantastic.
I think it's not. I don't know that it's going to win any Oscars or should, but boy, you can put that thing on, kick back with some popcorn, and enjoy your evening. That's for sure. It's an entertaining movie.
He was awesome, and you also get Nathan Jones in that movie too. So,
yes, right.
But
awesome.
I enjoyed it. I watched it maybe a month ago. It was on one of those free. I think it was Freevee or whatever, like that Amazon has, and I watched it, and I like normal. I enjoyed it. I enjoy those like really crappy action movies, but this was like, in my opinion, his best movie that he starred in my opinion. That's
I think so. I think so.
Yeah.
No, he was in part 1 of Expendables. He was
but I'm talking about that he starred in, like he was the main guy. Yeah. Like Expendables, he was fine. Like, I mean, he was good, but he
was pretty good.
Yeah, I'm just talking about, and you can't forget about his part in The Longest Yard. He was fantastic in that as well. But I'm just talking like for a part that he starred in, and I just, that movie was fun for what it was. It was good.
It is. It makes you wonder, like when I watched that movie, and I haven't seen it in a few years now, but like I watched that and I go, man, there's something here. It's amazing that somebody didn't get more out of him as like an action guy, but they didn't for whatever reason. I think he said, don't quote me on this, but I think he's mentioned that like he didn't like being on movie sets really, like either. Like that could be another reason.
I can see that.
Yeah, me too. Totally, absolutely. So can't drink beer on movie sets.
Yeah. Well, before we let you go, tell everybody where they can find you.
Guys, thank you so much for having me on. I so appreciate it. You can follow me at Zack_Heydorn. If you can follow my regular pro wrestling gig over at BrassRing_media. And once again, I hope you guys pick up the book. I think you guys will like it. If you like Steve Austin, if you don't, if you're a pro wrestling fan, I think you'll like this. It's stunning. The Wrestling Artistry of Steve Austin. You can get it today at Amazon and wherever books are sold. Thank you guys.
And check out his Substack. I subscribe to your Substack. It's really good. You do reports pretty much usually the next day or the day after. So it's good stuff there too. So want to say thank you for joining us. We really do appreciate it, man. And maybe soon you'll be on another prediction show with Stephanie Chase. I know you've done a few of those before. Yeah. So
you know me, man. I like to pick up as many gigs as I can. So I hope so. But thanks to you guys. Have a great weekend. Thanks to the listeners. And we'll talk soon.
All right. Thank you. Take care.
See ya.
All right, guys. Well, that was Zack Heydorn. Again, check out his book. Stunning.
Such a wonderful person to talk to. Thank you, Zack, for taking time out of your busy day. Yeah. You're a treasure for doing that.
And Substack is like a newsletter. I'll find a link and post it here for you. But now we're going to let you guys control the show. If you have any questions you want to talk about, I did see that I missed a super chat, so I want to read that real quick. Ricardo said, "Not sad. Willow loses. Won't be her last title." Exactly. She won't. I mean, if she does lose,
Ricardo is absolutely correct here. I know this won't be Willow's last championship. I do feel like Mercedes Monae will be winning. But I still kind of want this to be the main event. Okay. It exactly like Chris said, it's one of the better built matches towards Double or Nothing. But the other match that I want us to talk about, Rob, because we do have 8 minutes left.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so this is bugging the crap out of me. House of Black. Okay, they attack Adam Copeland, correct?
Yeah.
They steal his wedding ring that looks, by the way, nothing like a wedding ring. It looks like a Hall of Fame ring times 5. Okay, that was a bit funny. So Malka Black says, "Okay, we're going to face each other in a barbed wire steel cage match, correct?"
Yes.
So if Adam Copeland loses, he bends a knee to House of Black. So I have several questions here.
Bend the knee.
What do you think Malachi Black does to Copeland's ring?
Melts
because
it.
I have a lot of suggestions here.
I think he melts it.
Okay, so he can throw it into a volcano.
Yeah. It'd be like Lord of the Rings. And...
Yes, he can gather, a fellowship and travel to, a bunch of European countries. He can go
Mordor.
home. Okay?
Go to Mordor.
Yeah, he can go home and travel a lot. Iceland, Norway, whatever you guys want to do it.
My precious.
Run on some meadows. Sniff some pretty flowers and everything. Give just so Brody can get ideas for new tattoos. That's fine. Also, he can melt the ring and turn it into several promise rings for House of Black, and they can promise each other not to fucking win a match all the time up until their AEW contracts fucking expire.
Yeah.
This is fucking bullshit. Because I would assume that Malachi Black is losing this match, and I'm gonna fucking lose it with
Yeah.
Malachi Black losing his match. Also, do you think that you can win the match by escaping this barbed wire steel cage match? Do you feel like this does the trick?
No, I think this
And
is
also, do you think that the structure of the barbed wire steel cage match goes into effect while the Anarchy in the Arena match is going on?
no.
Answer all what? No.
No, I
I
don't
feel like
think.
it does. Because I feel like the Young Bucks as EVPs are gonna be like, put on a headset, on the commentary table, and they're like, lower the cage. And inside they beat the crap out of Darby Allin in the cage. And they take him out of action and they, do everything else.
Yeah. I don't know. Good point. I mean, that's the thing. I like all three of the guys in House of Black. This is just me making this is my thought process. I'm not saying I know anything at all, so nothing's a report or anything like that. This is just I think once each one of those guys can go, they're gone, like from AEW, and that includes Brody King. That's just me saying that.
Yeah.
So, but we do have a couple questions here.
Okay.
The first one was
first of all, we're sending throwback all our love.
Yes.
Just throwing
Sorry
it
you're
out
having
there,
a bad day,
sweetie.
buddy.
Yes, I absolutely understand. I've had an ass of a week, so I absolutely understand. Hope you feel better. We're here for you.
Corey's first question. Yeah, I got a question. Why did my wife and kids leave me?
What a wonderful question.
Yeah.
What's their names, Corey?
Yeah, what's their names? Because
What's their names?
I don't know. Let's see. We got any other questions? Is the no? Whoops. No. Okay.
Oh, that's a good take. Thank you, CP. Malachi wants Copeland to propose because Malachi is jealous of Beth Phoenix.
I swear there was another question in here. Let's see.
I mean, I'm
here we
just kind of okay. Yeah.
Ricardo, does anyone think we get a Beth sighting before it's all said and done? It depends where she's at with her like WWE deal. I mean, I saw that she's still on the I think she's still on the roster. I think. Or
I
think
have no
has
idea, and I'm definitely not the person to ask this, but I feel like it does make a bit of sense to do that, and I understand why people are, pushing for this and proposing for her to pop in, because it is his wedding ring. It's like she has to have a word in, right? I kind of feel like she does. But whether I think or whether I hope that Beth Phoenix comes out in the end, or do I think that she does, are two different things. Yes, I want her to be a part of this because Malachi Black taking possession of the ring feels like it's her time to step in. That's all I'm gonna say. But do I think she does? No.
Yeah.
Again, two different things.
Luger did fight Bruiser Brody in a cage match. Yeah, it was the last time they actually wrestled against each other, I believe, and it was ended in a no contest. Chris sent us another super chat. He says, "Talk about why Frodo sucks." Well, Frodo sucks because
Frodo does suck. And
he was in Radio Flyer. You ever see that movie?
No. No. Okay, so the guy is fine, but Frodo as a character fucking sucks Like all the people around him do the work for him while he's being a little bitch and taking all the credit. Fuck the guy. Like Sam for the win. Sam.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, yes, Samwise.
Does Ryan like Frodo?
Yeah, I think so.
Fucking
yeah,
boo.
but yeah, Samwise was in Rudy and Encino Man, and lots of other things. But Frodo, he was in Radio Flyer. He's been in other stuff too, but nothing really stands out.
Just just FY, because like I'm really pissed off about the Malachi Black thing. I'm sorry for going back and forth about this.
Doug and Stranger Things. He was Doug.
Yeah. Big
Oh, Back to the
white
Future 3. I
bear.
forgot about that.
Oh yeah, sure.
Back to the Future 3. He was still trying to put that fucking ring away. Yeah. Hercules. That's a different movie, but all right, Maggie. I guess
I wasn't done talking about Malachi Black, just FYI.
Oh, well, go ahead.
The thing is, I still have I have no idea what is happening backstage. I have no idea if they have communication problems. I have no idea if they have creative problems. There are a lot of things happening backstage that are not meant for us to know, and I absolutely agree with that. We can never know what the deal is before they sit down during an interview and say whatever the hell was going on. But
if there's someone that's going to find out, it's Sean Rossap and
fucking
Fightful Select.
justice for House of Black. Seriously. Justice for House of Black. This is bullshit. Guys,
Well,
you can follow me on Twitter at Maggie_IK and on Instagram at Maggie.IK. Thank you for joining us. Rob, you were saying?
Yeah. Well, next week on our show, we're going to have predictions for King and Queen of the Ring. And we will have predictions for AEW's Double or Nothing pay-per-view. Want to say thank you to Chris Mueller for joining us and Zack Heydorn for joining us. Again, check out Zach's new book, The Artistry of Steve Austin. Stunning Steve Austin. Or stunning The Artistry of Steve Austin. Easy for. But guys, follow me at Rob Wilkins on Twix. Otherwise, you can follow me on Instagram at Fightful Rob. I'm also on Threads at Fightful Rob. And want to say thank you again because, we're always here to make the
sacrifice.
Maggie, what do you think about this?
Yeah, David Buster's, damn it.
Should we say hi to Steven Jensen?
As for this game right now, the Sounds are down 5-0. At First Tennessee Park, High Beach, Fox 17 News.
Hi, Steven.
By the way, I'm so glad you actually play this, because if you go back and watch the spotlight from this week, Steven Jensen went on a 20-minute rant about Steve Austin.
I heard. I didn't get to watch it, but I did hear.
I just watched it before our show because I had to catch up.
Hmm.
It was so hilarious. And go and watch it for yourself, guys. I could never do it justice. It's just hilarious as hell.
Yeah.
Do yourself a favor.
Yeah. And look at all those chickens. I need to put that one back on here sometime.
You need to put that back on. It's a classic.
We miss
That's
it.
an instant classic. Yes.
Guys, we want to say thank you again for tuning in. We appreciate you so much. We will see you next week again for predictions for AEW Double or Nothing and WWE's King and Queen of the Ring. I hope you guys enjoy SmackDown. You also have a pretty good Collision and Rampage going on.
Again, one after the other.
And we're getting Ospreay versus... Who's Ospreay wrestling? I forgot already. But he's going to have a good match. And then we also have Moxley, I think, wrestling too.
Yeah.
So good stuff. Good stuff. Or Moxley's wrestling Takeshita, which I put on the thing that we didn't really talk about, but I'm actually anxious for this match. That's going to be good stuff.
It is going to be really good.
It's gonna be good. We got Takeshita versus John Moxley. That double or nothing card. Oh, Shane Taylor. Thank you, Soupy. See, I'm glad somebody watches.
Thank you.
Yeah,
It's so good when people in the chat are actually
good.
professional.
Yeah, professional. I appreciate it more than they know. But guys, thank you so much for joining this Coexisting for Friday, May 17th. We hope you have a great week, great weekend, and we will see you next week. Peace out, my friends. Peace.